So welcome once again from this wonderful knowledge enhancement series. We are here for one of the most important topic. Recently, we have witnessed many youth protests across the countries, specifically the recent one wherein Nepal has forced us to think about the problem of youth. They are currently facing a huge unemployment issue, whether it's a problem of employment or an employability. Let us deep dive and discuss on that fact. Almost every discussion about India's future comes back to one word: youth. Reason? We are described as India, one of the most young country, full of potential, expected to drive global growth in coming decades. But when we listen to students, parents, or young job seeker, we hear anxiety and uncertainty. So today's question is not whether India has youth. Everyone agrees on that. The real question is whether India is able to use this youth productivity. And that is the context for the discussion on youth unemployment and skill gaps. So let us deep dive. Why this debate matters now? Why this debate matter now? Youth unemployment versus skill gap. Before we jump into the data or argument, let us pause and think about moment. India in right now. We are living in a country that is younger than almost every major economy, where classrooms are full, colleges are expanding, parents are investing everything that they have into education. And young people genuinely believe that their future will be better than the past. Young population, educated youth, rising aspiration. On paper, this should be India's greatest strength. And yet, alongside this optimism, there is an uncomfortable reality. Youth unemployment remains high. Job protest erupts. Every few years, graduates struggle to find stable work, and employees complain that they cannot find the people who are ready to work. Now this debate matters now because of the cost of getting it wrong is very high. When young people spend years studying, preparing and carrying an expectation, then face uncertainty or rejection, the damage is not only economic. Frustration builds slowly, quietly, then spills into the society. It shows up anxiety in anger, in protest, in political pressure, and in growing feeling that system does not reward effort fairly. A country with millions of educated but underutilized young people is not just inefficient, it is a socially fragile. So this debate is not about blaming youth for lacking skill. It's not about blindly celebrating skilling program. It is about understanding where the system that connect education, jobs, and opportunity is breaking down. Let's talk about the hard data, harsh reality. Youth unemployment, we move away from opinion and look carefully at the data. The picture becomes clearer here. Overall, it is 5.2%. Under the rural belt, it is very high as compared to the global context. The periodic labor force survey shows that the youth unemployment, specifically in the 15 to 29 age group, is significantly higher than the overall unemployment. Urban youth face even higher unemployment than the rural youth, and perhaps the most comfortable finding in this unemployment is highest among educated youth, graduates and postgraduate. So education, which was once considered as a safety net, no longer guaranteed employment. This is challenge a deeply held belief in Indian society that if you study hard and get a degree, the system will absorb you. For many young people today, that promise is no longer holding. Now, entry-level instability, a famous research firm CMI's evidence. CMI data adds another hype layer to this story. Young people form a disproportionately large share of the unemployment, specifically first-time job seekers. Many of them do not move smoothly from college into a stable work. Instead, they move in cycles, a short-term job, then unemployment, then another temporary role, often unrelated to what they studied. This is not just bad luck or a short-term friction. This is a structural stress at point where the young people enter the labor market. And when the entry point itself is unstable, the entire career path becomes fragile. Another important report by ASER, it's finding about the skill starts early. Now, when employers say that graduates lack skill, it is important to ask whether where this problem actually begins. Under the ASER report shows that many students struggle with basic reading and numerical skills, even in the higher grades. These foundation gaps do not disappear in college. They travel forward quietly into a higher education and then into the labor market. So part of the skill problem is not only about outdated college curricula. It begins much earlier in the schooling system. This means blaming graduates alone misses the deeper structure issue. Job growth, but for the wrong kind. Let us look at the kind of jobs the economy is creating. Employment has grown, but mostly in self-employment and informal services. Formal salaries, jobs, and have expanded much more slowly, and manufacturing has not absorbed labor at the scale seen in East Asian economies. So there is a clear mismatch. Young people aspire to stable, salaried work with dignity and security, but the economy generates informal, lower security jobs. This gap between aspiration and opportunity lies at the heart of youth dissatisfaction. There is an argument on skill gap versus the job shortage. Let's decode that fact also. One common explanation about unemployment is skill gap. Education is too theoretical. Graduates are not job ready. Firms must retrain them. There is a truth here. Employer surveys consistently show that only a fraction of graduates are immediately employable without retaining. But here is the contradiction. If skills were the only problem, then highly educated youth would be absorbed quickly. That is not happening. Even engineers, MBAs, and postgraduates face unemployment or accept jobs far below their qualification level. So skill matter, but skill alone are not sufficient. So is there a job shortage? Let us talk about that fact also. Argument and the real diagnosis. Another argument say that the real problem is lack of jobs. Growth has been capital intensive. Automation is rising. Manufacturing expansion has been weak. This is so partly true, but employers still report unfilled vacancies, specifically in mid-skill role. The job do exist, but often in the wrong location, at the wage youth resist, or requiring skills they don't possess. When employment and unfilled job exist at the same time, that is not a simple shortage. That is a coordination failure between education system, firms, labor market, and the youth aspiration. So look into the ground reality with the global context. India also has a degree of inflation. Degree have expanded faster than productivity and job quality. A college degree no longer reliably signal job readiness or stable employment, leading to overqualification and underemployment disguised as employment. A graduate delivering food is technically employed but economically misallocated. In East Asian economies, firm hired first and trained workers inside factories, absorbing early productivity risk. In India, firm prefer ready-made workers. Training is avoided and poaching is cheaper than investing in skill. This creates shallow skills and shallow jobs at the same times. Finally, for the way forward and to concluding remark, India's youth unemployment crisis is neither purely a skill problem nor purely a job problem. It is a system design problem. Employer must co-own skilling through apprenticeships and hire to train model. Vocational education must offer real mobility and wage growth. Education system must respond faster to the labor market signals, and growth must become job rich, specifically through manufacturing, MSMEs, and urban services. India's youth are not unemployable. India's firms are not irrational. The system connecting them is weak. And India's demographic dividend is not automatic. It must be designed, aligned, and earned. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, please subscribe for further more video. Do share your feedback and compulsory tell us the next video you wanted to prepare. Thank you so much.